we have a very clear idea of how we want to play together and like how the lane should go. So we're like very connected.
This is Azento from Esports Heaven, and I have here with me Yeon from Team Liquid. You guys just smashed Immortals, but specifically I want to talk about Jhin within the meta. He's having huge priority now. Why do you think that is?
I do think that the utility bottom laners at the moment are a lot stronger is the main thing, and his utility is like one of the higher ones.
Okay, so what do you think about the ADCs being in mid lane? Because obviously that takes away from your champion pool. So just what are your general thoughts about ADCs mid?
Wow, clearly it's like a bit annoying because all the champions I play are being played mid lane right now. So then suddenly in one scrim there was like 5 AD carry bans, and then my mid laner took one mid AD carry, and then theirs took it, and then their AD carry picked first. So then there was just like 8 AD carries down. I'm like, well, nice. This is nice, guys.
Yeah, that's gotta feel pretty bad actually. But I guess it's kind of cool though, because now you have kind of a flex pick option too. How does that work within the draft? Like, are you guys super open to constantly flexing and whatnot for ADCs?
Yeah, I think that it just depends on what your team has and what they play. I think that most AD carries just go mid these days, but if there's like a good champion for like a counter pick into one of the champions, you just swap it out. But for the most part, I think most of the AD carry mids are just staying mid.
Yeah. So I want to get your secret sauce on team fighting. So when looking at all of the ADCs in kind of recent eras, your team fighting stands out as some of the best that I've ever seen. And that's quite high praise considering I also thought Danny was one of the best team fighters I had ever seen in recent years too. So what is it about, I guess, team fighting or the mindset that you go into when you look at a team fight? Because it seems like your target selection is insanely good, as well as your ability to track cooldowns. Like, what is your secret sauce for team fights?
To be honest, I think it's just our structure and how we view team fights. I think we have a structured layout of how we team fight already, so it's like very easy. It's like we just have like our own formation, so we just make sure we keep that. It's like very simple. So there's nothing special about it. It's just easy to do because of our team.
Okay. What about the idea of summoner spells for an ADC? I know it's probably the most important role for summoner spells as far as holding them. So I guess how do you determine whether using a summoner spell is a good idea or not, especially in consideration before like a Drake fight or whatnot?
It just depends on how much I think I can get out of it and how much I can actually do with it. Like how much I can stand in forward. And then if I don't have it, then I just like say, guys, I'm just gonna play a little bit more back. I don't have my spells. I'll wait for you guys to do something. Very simple.
So I also want to get your thoughts on working with CoreJJ. It seems like you guys are the best bot lane duo right now, but also in particular, it just seems like you guys have ramped it up quite a lot, especially for this summer split as compared to spring split too. So what has been different, I guess, about your relationship with them?
I just think that we work a lot together and we have like a lot of communication and like experience together. I think we have a very clear idea of how we want to play together and like how the lane should go. So we're like very connected. So I think it's just very easy when you spend a lot of time with someone for like a couple of years, especially with other teams not like having the same thing. Besides maybe like FBI and Hui, which have been played similar amount.
Pretty long time, yeah. So I want to get your thoughts on SoloQ. I heard that you're a grinder. You play a lot of hours. As an ADC, I guess what value are you trying to take from SoloQ? Because ADC is one of those unique roles to where your support is changing constantly in SoloQ. So like, how do you balance that aspect and expectation?
I mean, SoloQ is just trash these days. I mean, it is what it is. It's like completely, I won't say useless, but you have to go into SoloQ with like an actual like reason behind going into it because it's like very low quality. So my focus is like playing different champions, just like playing unique champions and trying them out over and over, and then just do what I feel because it's very bad. You have to actually go into a specific reason to play.
Yeah, too many one tricks.
This quality is pretty low because there's not many people in general.
Yeah, okay. So macro for Team Liquid is world class, surprisingly, for a North American team. What do you think separates your guys' thought process of macro versus everybody else's?
Well, I think we have very strong veterans in terms of like shot calling and the way they want to play. So we all like have a clear understanding, and there's also like a hierarchy of like macro calls. So it's very easy to have the same play, which is the most important thing. Just strong-minded veterans, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, that's got to help because I think Impact and Core I think they're some of the only active players right now that were around back when lane swaps actually happened. So how has that, I guess, veterancy and guidance been for lane swaps specifically?
Well, because of that, we're like one of the best lane swap teams because we have like so much experience on it, and they have a lot of ideas on how it should be. So it's very, very easy.
So finally, I want to get your thoughts on matching up against Cloud9. What are you expecting? How good do you think Cloud9 is headed into, next week?
I mean, I do think they're a top team. Just about it. It's just same old same. I don't think they're anything special, but they've been doing well. In terms of, I'd say, meta defining and just finding I think the most important thing is they actually know how to they know how they want to play their own game, unlike last split, which is the main thing. So actually, they will play better.
Yeah. What about specifically Berserker and Vulcan?
I think as a duo, they're like one of the better, like on the top tier. But I think Berserker's individual performance is very high. Just going to be an exciting matchup.
All right, I am looking forward to that matchup a lot. So, yeah, looking forward to next week, and yeah, we'll see how you guys do. So this has been Azento from Esports Heaven and Yeon from Team Liquid. Thank you.
Thank you.